Matt, you trailed by a point at the half, and it was evident in the first few minutes of the second half that your defense improved, but also you started throwing the ball down to the big fella inside, and the game just kind of turned right at that point. Did you happen to mention that to your players at the half?
Well, we emphasize it no matter who we're playing, and he just needs to get touches, and we need to be more patient. Just really in terms of how we're getting the basketball, you got to give him a little bit of time. And I thought we did a better job with it. I thought he went through the double team a couple times when people were swarming and just being aggressive, and had some really good moves. But we did a better job of getting it in. We did a better job of driving the ball and getting in the paint also. That's what we need to do. We need to get the basketball in the paint, whether that's by the drive or the pass.
Coach, you went with Ray down the stretch there. What did you see in his game tonight that you liked, or in practice?
Well, it's hard because you go back and forth and you're trying to figure things out. And I just thought he gave us good energy. He made a couple hustle plays. He got a couple rebounds, knocked down those 2 free throws, and that really helped us. And then at times, when you're out there and they're changing from man to zone, and what they're in, and you try to get that lineup, that really helps your team. But they constantly changed, and with him and Jacob Lawson, I thought they gave us a spark, and they played hard, and we stuck with him, and he did a good job.
There were a couple instances in the second half, and a couple more a couple instances in the first half, and a couple more in the second, where you guys would get out to maybe you'd be up 7, up 6, whatever, and then sort of in the snap of your fingers, it'd be right back down to 2, or it would be tied. How do you account for that? Is it an easy fix, or is there kind of it's been happening all year? Is there kind of I guess the term would be a common denominator among it, attention span? Whatever?
No, I wouldn't think so. I don't think there's a common denominator. We just compound our mistakes. Instead of making one mistake and just leaving it alone and then moving forward, when we make one mistake, it leads to the next mistake and then the next mistake. And that's why you see me with I just think you got to get a quick timeout. I'm maybe a possession off in some of those timeouts. Now you're going into the last 5 or 6 minutes of the game with one timeout. That's the downside of doing it that way. But how are you supposed to stop those runs? A lot of coaches talk about letting them play out of it, and when they grow, it really helps them. Well, I've let them play out of some things, and we've yet to get it fixed. I've looked at the lineups when that happened in the game, and it hasn't mattered who's in the game. It's happened to everybody. So we just got to keep working on it. And we started the game 10-3, and then right away, we don't let people score like 6, 7, 8 points in 2 minutes. We let them score in 30 seconds. And it happens so quick. But you also can't call a timeout every time somebody, scores back-to-back baskets. So we just got to do a better job of not compounding our mistakes, and just trying to keep things simple, especially when we take a bad one or we turn it over. There has to be a siren that goes off in their head that we need to be more patient and get a better shot, or be more solid on the defensive end.
Matt, second game in a row, single-digit turnovers. Huge. I mean, you had one little stretch in the first half. I think in 3 possessions, you may have turned it over 3 times. But other than that one little block, pretty good ball protection, ball security tonight. It probably saved you again, right?
No doubt about it. Our last 2 games have been relatively the same score in terms of the difference. And being under 10 turnovers in both those games, probably helped us. Obviously, we did a great job rebounding in the second half. We got rebounded by 7 in the second half after being down 5 in the first. So anytime you're able to handle those 2 statistical categories, it helps us. Our issue, even with those turnovers in the first half, every single one of those led to a direct basket. And so, I always say throw it in the stands, kick it to one of your relatives, get a shot clock violation. The score doesn't change. But when you get a shot clock violation, or you throw it out of bounds, the score does not change. But when you throw it to the other team, that score is probably moving real quick.